All right, welcome back. So today at 3, you have an assignment due that is, called SMART goals. And this is not something that is just, specific to philosophy. This is something that I believe if you want to be successful in life, if you want to get the most out of it, something that you need to practice, and that is just setting goals. You don't always have to write them down. Now, I know that I asked you to write them down, so I know that you have a goal, and so that you know that you have a goal too. You don't even have to share these goals with anybody. Again, I asked for one of your goals so that, again, we're in that process and we know what that process looks like. So I haven't read over them just yet. I'm gonna take a look at them here in just a little bit, but I want to talk a little bit about, again, why setting goals is important. So first, the very first reason that goal setting and that process of setting goals is important is because it helps you figure out what you want and it helps you prioritize that in your life. Everybody has things that they want, they desire, but they don't necessarily know how to attain them. And so what happens is people just kind of spin their wheels for a long time. But if you have a path, then you can figure out how to navigate that path. If you're just swimming in open waters, where do you go from there? So that's number one. Number two is it gives us short-term motivation. This is something that I always felt like after I'd watched a really good baseball movie. For me, my favorite baseball movie is Bull Durham. I'd say, The Natural, couple movies. But anyways, after I'd watched one of those movies, it kind of motivated me to want to really work at baseball. And so that kind of translated into my goal of becoming better at baseball. And so I had this short-term motivation where I just I just want to go outside and just work on my swing. But down the road, this is what we call the grind. There's going to be times in your pursuit of any goal that it's not going to be easy. And that short-term motivation that you had previously, where you were jacked up, ready to go full of adrenaline, what happens is that starts to decrease a little bit. And this is what we call the grind, because you still got to do it. If you really want to accomplish that goal, you have to decide how committed you're going to be at the beginning, because it's not always going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be very hard some days just to get yourself out of bed and, just put yourself out there. So number two, it gives us short-term motivation, but number three, it gives us long-term vision. And so this is why you really have to sit down and think about, what do I want to accomplish? We are very, performance driven, whether we like it or not. That's the people that essentially we admire for the most part. People that, can compete or can operate at a very high level. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Number four, it gives you control. So there's a lot of things in life that you're just not going to have control of. You always have control of your attitude, and you always have control of the way you respond. So having any more control than that is, in what I would believe is a win-win. So when you set goals, you've given yourself, again, a direction to go. And that direction sometimes is going to lead to, much bigger and better things. And sometimes it may just lead to very minor, small improvements. But the point is that you're not staying still. You are continuously moving. Personally, I believe that that's what people are meant to do. They're meant to always be moving, always, on the pursuit of something. And this doesn't have to be material value. Your goal doesn't have to be to have, $100,000 car. It could be simple as exercise. Exercise goals are huge. And, that's not necessarily a material thing. Yeah, it could be, so maybe I fit better into my clothes or this, that, or the other. But an exercise goal is very much beyond what we can measure materially. It helps you manage your time and your resources. I don't know about you guys, but I waste a lot of time when I don't have something that I'm working towards. Personally, I think I was most efficient when I was teaching full time, when I was coaching full time, when I was full-time student online working on my master's degree and getting married and buying a house. I was most efficient then, like I used my time more wisely. There's many times where I didn't necessarily feel like I had any time, but it made me, again, prioritize what I needed to get done and help me be a little bit more efficient. Again, I do have some goals, laid out for myself right now, but that was a time where I had a lot of goals packed in at once, and maybe that's not the best way to go through it. But again, you need something to keep you motivated, to keep you pushing forward, because then that makes you take advantage of the time that you have that you can apply to that goal. Especially if it's not something that's professional, especially if it's something that's outside of work. All right, so went over a couple reasons why it's important to set goals. Last one, it creates personal accountability. You know what it feels like when you know that you should have done something and you didn't. There's call it guilt, call it shame, but you just know that, dang, I could have got more done, or I should have done this. That feeling, I don't think we should dwell on that feeling, but I do think we should use that feeling. I know me personally, like I told you guys that I've wanted to write a book. Well, what's the first step? Well, it's, writing. And there's some nights where I just want to go straight to bed. I don't feel like doing it. I don't want to do it anymore. I've had a long day, but I just try to make myself just sit down, and even if it's only 250 words, 300 words, that's one page. Even if it's just that, that's something. And if you keep making those small little steps, over the course of a month, you got 30 pages. Over the course of 3 months, you got 90 pages. Over the course of 6 months, and you get the idea. So again, take those little steps. Those little steps help us accomplish big goals. But again, we have to keep ourselves accountable. If that means that you need to, discipline yourself, then, I mean, in a sense of, okay, well, if I'm not, doing my writing at night, well, then I'm not going out to eat this week. I'm not, hanging out with my friends this week. I'm going to focus on this. Again, it's just about putting your priorities in line. All right, so I just want to talk a little bit about that. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I want you to set some goal that's important to you. It doesn't have to be school related. If it is, that's great. But I have goals that aren't necessarily just based on school. So come up with your own goals, and let's figure out that process and what we need to do to accomplish them. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.